and continued shoveling. He bent and picked up a branch broken by LeeAnn's fall. It looked surprisingly healthy, still holding on to the last of the season's fruit, although her apples were smaller and more blemished than his. "You still using that organic spray with clay?" "Yup." She straightened and faced him, wiping the sweat from her face with her sleeve. "You're welcome to try it if you want. I think I've finally got the timing down." "I'll go by my own methods. I know what works." "Suit yourself." LeeAnn brushed off her hands on her pants. "I'm glad you're here because I want to talk to you about something." "Oh?" Hope welled in his chest. "I'm thinking about expanding my organic operation." "You've already got 3 acres, he said. "And you've got 50. She knew as well as he did how much they'd given up for these trees. All those hours over so many years. They'd put too much thought and energy into the orchard to change things now. "Those 50 are yours, too. I'm taking care of them like we always have." "I want to use my techniques on more acreage," she said. "I thought I could start with the trees closest to these 3 acres and then expand. We should really come up with a 5-year plan." "For my family's land?" LeeAnn looked at him hard. "As you said, it's my property too, and I don't want to work at the diner forever. This is what I love to do." It was easy to be optimistic now about next year's harvest, with the trees full of promise and this year's apples filling the barn. Soon enough, the trees would be bare-branched, with next year's buds folded tight to the twig, protected against the cold of winter. But so much could go wrong come spring. The chances of a good year were already low enough. The last thing they needed was a gamble. "You're asking me to give up trees that make money for something untried. We can't afford to experiment. These 3 acres you're playing with are already a risk." "It's about more than money, Jack. My way of growing apples is honest, like nature intended. And if you want to focus on the money, you'll remember my fruit paid off last year." "Just barely. What about all you lost to codling moth?" She picked up her shovel and began moving mulch again. "I learned in the process. I'm only asking for a small expansion." "You want to take good acreage out of regular production to try new ways when the old ones work just fine." "It's our acreage together." "I don't know, LeeAnn." Jack dropped the branch. She stopped shoveling and met his eye. "It's been your way all these years. Isn't it time for something different?" "I'll think about it." Jack turned and headed back to his trees. From his ladder, he stuffed his sack full and emptied it again and again into a large cart, working fast. When the cart was full, he walked to the barn down the rows of fruit trees casting late-day shadows over the ground. Lack of sleep and double-time work had caught up with him. He'd been trying to fill in for what LeeAnn had always done, in addition to his jobs, picking and selling apples by day and packing the fruit while running the cider press way past dark. All his life, work made Jack put one foot in front of the other, even when his dad died and Wade left in the same 12 hours. Focus got him through. In the barn, Jack climbed onto the mud-crusted tractor and drove it to the orchard to retrieve the full apple cart. He pulled out a slim notebook from his back pocket to update his picking estimate for the day. In search of a clean page, he flipped past notes of apples picked, sold, planted, grafted, equipment repairs, bloom times, spray times, and harvest dates. January 17th, a foot of snow last night. Shoveled walks, repaired tractor. Tried to talk to LeeAnn about plans for putting in new trees in the spring, but she's distracted. Always distracted. February 23rd, bitter cold. No snow, just gray. Ordered seedlings. Figured budget for next year. Winter's too long, too hard. Not getting anywhere. April 14th. Chilly mornings. Starting to warm up during the day. Hard to plan when LeeAnn won't talk business. September 30th. Hot and sticky. Apples on target. She's thinking of going. The care of the apples and